Okay, you get in your car after a long day. You're tired, you lean back, and you reach for that little lever to adjust your seat. You're just trying to get comfortable, right? But what you're actually touching is probably the most overlooked but absolutely critical piece of safety gear you own. And its biggest secret? Well, it's hidden in the sound it makes. Oh, you know that sound. That horrible metallic clack as the seat locks in, and maybe it's followed by a little squeak every time you go over a bump. It just sounds cheap. It feels cheap. And it kind of makes you wonder, is this thing I'm leaning my entire body on actually safe? Well, today we're going to find out. We are going to pull back the curtain and see if that cringy noise is just a minor annoyance or if it's something way more serious, like a warning from the one part that stands between your spine and a really, really bad day in a car crash. So the thing making all that noise is a small, disc-shaped gadget hidden inside your seat. It's called the recliner. Now, this is not just a simple hinge like you'd find on a door. No. You gotta think of it more like the lock on a bank vault. A really complex mechanism that's all about precision, strength, and when things go wrong, it has to be absolutely foolproof. This little part has 3 jobs, and it has to do them perfectly. First, it has to let you adjust your seat so you can get comfy. Second, it's got to lock into that position so tight that you don't feel any wobble or play. And third, and this is the big one, in the split second of a car crash, it has to instantly become like a solid piece of steel, stopping that seat back from snapping backwards and protecting your spine. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about the raw power this little device has to deal with. And we're not talking about small forces here. We're talking about some serious life-or-death numbers. 2,000 Newton meters. That is the bare minimum locking strength that is required by law, by international safety standards. It's totally non-negotiable. But what does that number even mean? What does 2,000 Newton meters actually feel like? Okay, picture this. Imagine a wrench that's about a meter long attached to your seat recliner. Now, imagine 3 average-sized adults all hanging off the very end of that wrench. That recliner is not allowed to move. Not a bit. Not even a millimeter. That is the kind of insane force it has to withstand in a rear-end collision to stop you from getting a catastrophic whiplash injury. And hey, this isn't just some theory. A real-world supplier tried to save a few pennies by making a key gear just 0.7 millimeters thinner. That's less than the thickness of a credit card. And the result? Catastrophic failure. The seatback snapped completely during crash testing. That tiny change led to a massive recall of 120,000 cars. It just goes to show you, the line between safe and disaster is razor thin. But it's not just about safety. It's also about, quality. Why do some car seats feel so solid and sound so quiet, while others just clank and squeak all the time? Well, the answer, once again, is in that little recliner. You know both of these sounds, I guarantee it. You've got that harsh rattle of an economy car seat, and then you have that soft, satisfying thud of a luxury car. That difference, it isn't magic. It's a direct result of money, of advanced manufacturing, and a whole lot of engineering that you can't see, but you can definitely hear and feel. Right, here's the stuff they don't exactly tell you at the dealership. That quiet, premium feel, it comes from some seriously expensive manufacturing. Instead of just rough-stamped metal, luxury recliners use something called fine blanking to get mirror-smooth gear surfaces. They add tiny nylon washers to cushion any impacts. They use this high-tech damping grease to absorb vibrations, and they even use laser welding for perfect joins. The whole thing is designed to eliminate every last gap and every last noise. And you can see it right here, plain as day. There's a direct link between cost and performance. A single-sided recliner you'd find in an economy car, yeah, it's cheap, but it's also weaker and it's louder. Most mainstream cars use a much better double-sided system. But that continuous recliner in a high-end luxury car, it's practically silent, feels buttery smooth, and look at that, it costs almost 4 times as much. So yeah, you really do get what you pay for. Okay, now for the best part. Knowledge is power, right? Especially when you're shopping for a car. So I'm going to give you a little pro tip, a cheat sheet, so you can walk into any dealership and test the quality of a car's seats in literally 10 seconds. But first, let's just bust a few common myths real quick. Myth 1. A tiny bit of wobble doesn't mean it's broken, but a noticeable clunk is definitely a bad sign. 2. If the recliner is super hard to adjust, that doesn't mean it's stronger. It just means it's poorly designed and it's going to wear out faster. And myth 3. Electric seats are not automatically stronger than manual ones. The locking mechanism is the exact same. The only difference is the motor. Okay, this is your new superpower for the showroom. It's so simple. Adjust the seat to where you normally drive. Then open the door, stand outside the car, and give the top of the seat back a firm shove. A high-quality recliner will feel like you're pushing against a solid wall, almost zero give. A cheaper one, though, will have a very distinct clunk or a feeling of looseness before it finally catches. And that looseness, that's exactly where the car maker saved money. So you have to remember this. That tiny gap you feel when you push on the seat, that's everything. It is the physical proof of cost cutting. It's the dividing line between a cheap part and a quality one. And as we've just learned, it can also be the line between an annoying noise, a premium feel, and, in the absolute worst-case scenario, your safety. So go on, check your car. What does your seat feel like?